I'll be sharing a couple of unusual but gorgeous color combinations with you today, where I mixed and matched inks from different dye ink families, so stay tuned to find out what they are. I will be using the Golden Days Simple Coloring Stencil today. It has 4 stencils that you can layer up to get a beautiful bloom. You also get a coordinating foil plate for this if you want a gorgeous foil outline to go with the stenciled image. Now what I do is that I gather all the stencils together and form the bloom. Then I place it to see how it's going to end up looking or where it is going to be positioned. Once I decide on my placement, I adhere the stencil number 1 onto Crest white cardstock. The panel is size of my card front. Then with the help of a large blending tool, I will apply Pink Pearl Crisp Dye Ink. Because I want my base layer to be darker, more prominent and solid looking, I'm going to make sure to cover this layer very well. Once I have good coverage for the first stencil, I will remove the stencil and place the second stencil, which is very easy to layer. And then I will apply Coral Bliss Crisp Dye Ink. The second stencil has some intricate parts, so if you want, you can use temporary adhesive spray to make it a little tacky. I use the Altenew glue tape and reduce the tackiness by pressing it to my skin once. Now this is where I will change things up. For the next layer, stencil number 3, I will use the Rubellite Crisp Dye Ink from the Cherry Blossom Ink family using the large blending tool. And I am really being very heavy-handed in the application of inking because I want a really solid looking layer on there. And once I remove the stencil, you will be able to see the change in the flower right away. And it looks so beautiful and tropical. It just looks gorgeous. I absolutely love it. So the last layer of the stencil, the 4th layer. For this, I'm going to use the Grapevine Crisp Dye Ink, which is from the Red Cosmos Ink family. And I will make sure that this is more concentrated on the center and the lower portion of the flower. To add more depth to the flower center, I'm going to use the detail blending brush and apply a little bit of jet black pigment ink to the center of the flower and blend it outwards. This will be subtle, but it will add quite a bit of depth. Then I will use a mini blending brush to soften the ink and further blend it well. I will remove the stencil and then place the stencil with the flower center. For this, I will use the jet black pigment ink and apply this quite a few times by building layers. With pigment inks, you can get a really solid looking layer if you dry the layers of inking and apply more layers of ink over the dry ink. For the sentiment, I'm using the Sentiment Strips 3 stem set, and I stamped the sentiment in Obsidian ink and cut it into a thin strip. I also went ahead and die cut a hello from the Craft a Flower Primrose Die Set in glitter cardstock. This is the gilded one with all the golds, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And then I will add splatters of gold from the metallic watercolor 14 pan set. I will then just pop the sentiments onto the card front, add a few sequins, and my card is ready. This was very quickly put together, so I thought I could go ahead and try another combination of inks that I really like. So we did one in pinks, and now I will share one in blues. For the first layer, through the stencil number 1, I will apply Sea Breeze Crisp Dye Ink. It looks a little different here because my ink blending tool has a bit of green on it, which kind of looks cool. Through stencil number 2, I will apply Turquoise Crisp Dye Ink. And I will also add a bit of dyed blue crisp dye ink in the center, as I thought the turquoise was not as vibrant and wasn't creating as much contrast as I wanted. Now I'm quickly going to cover these steps as it's nothing special. Just note down the ink colors, and if you do use these colors, don't forget to tag me and Altenew. You will find my Instagram information in the description. Now through stencil number 3, I will apply Cosmic Berry Crisp Dye Ink. Now this is where we deviate from the blues and move towards the purples. Though Cosmic Berry is from the pinks, but because we are applying it on blues, it will form a purple. I will apply this more heavy-handedly in the center while keeping the edges a little light. Through stencil number 4, I will first apply Cosmic Berry Crisp Dye Ink again with a heavy hand, and then to this I will add Andromeda Crisp Dye Ink for a deeper purple shade. For the flower center, I will use the Warm Sunshine Pigment Ink. I will dry the layer before applying another ink layer to get a really opaque center. Next, I will add some splatters from the Metallic Watercolor 14 pan set, and for the sentiments I will use the Thanks die from the Craft Your Life Project Kit Seasonal Blooms and Glitter Cardstock in Sterling Silver. Add a few pearls and my second card is ready too. I hope you liked the mix of ink families used on these stenciled florals and would give them a try. You can also use this combination for your layering stamps. I have done this and it looks absolutely beautiful. Don't forget to tag us when you do share. I would love to see your projects. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!
Hello there! Did that video just spark your creativity? And do you want more project ideas and inspiration videos too? Well, if you do, please make sure that you subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, make sure that you do click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye!